Let's go ahead and get started while people are coming in. I'll introduce it simply by saying that two of the things we found, the Board of Trustees found in our discussions with the congregation in various ways last fall, the two big things we found were first, that we want to stay here. And second, that apart from obvious things needing to be done like the bathrooms and the sound system, we don't want to be involved in a lot of renovation stuff without having a destination, without having a longer range plan to fit it into. And so based on that, and the counsel of our wonderful buildings and grounds person, Dave, who is of course an architect himself and has helped clients figure this stuff out. What we did in January was to authorize Dave to find an architect to come back to the congregation with a couple of options of long-range facilities destinations, and that's what you're going to hear today. I would emphasize that once we have this, that the idea is not to vote for one or the other. As such, what we wanted to do is to inform and invigorate a congregational debate and decision about what it is that we would like to have. And my own hope is, frankly, that in the process of doing that, we can learn more about ourselves, who we are, and what's important to us, but by dealing with these very concrete issues.
For more than a century, Unitarians and Universalists have labored in the South, laying foundations, digging wells, so we might have places for fellowship and worship. In the not-too-distant past, a community of UUs purchased a wooded lot, so yet another new religious home could be given life.
Our instructions were fairly simple. We're trying to frame some possibilities. I want to introduce Tanya, not Carol, Tanya Richard. Thank you very much.
We're generating ideas here. Nothing is set in concrete. The first thing we want to do is keep the character of what you have and improve it. Bring it together in such a way that we create new spaces and new opportunities for you. So I will begin by going through kind of quickly the plans. This is a site plan of what you currently have now. It's a site plan with the main administration building, your sanctuary, and then the Chalice House and the parking down here. So this was our starting point. We came up with two ideas. One is a minimal approach, and one is an ambitious approach. And these two things can be married too. So if there are things you like about one plan better than the other plan, you can combine those two. So there's lots of mixing up that can be done. We looked at doing not being very invasive in the site and doing a small addition. So the sanctuary in this scheme, the sanctuary would stay where it is. We would expand back into those two little areas right back there. So you would pick up a little more floor area. The restrooms would stay where they are. In this approach, because we took away your storage here, we moved it over to here. You have a workroom and a storage area, and then a little family restroom in that area. That still opens up onto your lobby. And you do have we have as an alternate that you could expand this lobby out over here. And we're displacing your art gallery here, and we're looking at putting that art gallery in a more public area. It could be off in in a corner area, or it could be throughout the whole lobby. In the minimal approach, we're looking at taking the administration area and moving it to a part of the Chalice House, and then expanding a fellowship hall into this area. We would keep the kitchen and the bookstore, and we would build a conference room on the corner along this edge, and then the nursery would be at the back end of it. This would be your fellowship breakout area, and this would continue to be an outside fellowship area, and this would be additional outside fellowship area. With moving the admin over here, in order to replace that space, which I understand is a chapel and then a couple of classrooms, we would build an addition of the same, basically the same size on the other end of the Chalice House. This area out here that you approach through is a great area to develop as an outdoor fellowship area. To tie this whole area together, we're looking at putting a colonnade, which would also be a covered walkway from the edge of this existing porch all the way around to the front door of the Chalice House. So this is the ambitious plan. This one, we're keeping the Chalice House like it is. We're reorganizing the administration area and moving the kitchen over to this area and the bookstore over to this area. We have enclosed this corner space, just like we did on this one, to add another office. We've moved the conference room down to this area, and the art gallery out into the expanded lobby area, and put the nursery down at this end near the restrooms. A family restroom is across the hall from those restrooms, and this is storage. This continues to be your fellowship hall, your inside fellowship area, and then in addition to the building is a sanctuary with the expanded lobby and art gallery to walk through from the building to get to. But what we saw in this is to continue to enclose that courtyard area. So you continue the colonnade all the way around, and this colonnade actually becomes part of the building, and the sanctuary would open up through double doors all the way across here. So in looking at the image of your buildings, we kept in mind, I'm going to come over this way, we kept in mind the lodge feel of your existing facility, the new sanctuary space. We kept the same forms basically that you have here, but used this form to tie it together. So it starts to tie that whole area together. So this is coming out of the sanctuary. You can see the seating area here. And then this is your existing administration building, which would remain pretty much the same, but it would be tied into that entire covered walkway around the space. And then in this corner, which is right here, we created a little special place that can be used for, we were looking at it as a memory wall and a place for reflection, a little area where you can go and have a different experience. Fellowship, outdoor fellowship area, and it is partially enclosed with the memorial wall. So I think, did I cover everything?
Tanya Richard has provided us with two wonderful options for this congregation for improving our facilities and making them welcoming not only to members but to newcomers as well. So, do these plans evoke some of your dreams for Northwest? From the comments I've heard from people, they certainly do, and they certainly evoke some of my dreams. The board will be holding 2 informal town hall meetings later this fall, one in September and one in October, in which we hope to hear what your dreams are for Northwest.